Hello everyone, how you doing? We are here in another episode of Desde Irlanda para el Mundo. And I'm here with one of our students, Douglas. Douglas, how are you today?
I'm brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. Tell me, Douglas, how long have you been studying in SEDA College?
Well, I've been studying here for 1.5 years. Yeah,
1 year and a
1 year
half.
5-6 months.
Okay, that's good. And tell me, how your experience has been in this 1.5 year in terms like traveling, studying over here. You are working as well, so accommodation. How your experience have been in terms like your experience as international student?
Well, in terms of accommodation, everything has always been very, very easy.
Mm-hmm.
I got an apartment in 2-3 months, which is the one where I'm living so far. The school also I've had great experiences with some really good teachers like Jamie Burke and the one I have now, teacher Nathan and Evelyn. So I've had brilliant teachers.
A very
as
good
well.
experience with
Yeah.
teachers. Yeah.
And for traveling, I mean, apart from working, I work as a teacher as well, but I've traveled to a bunch of different countries: Croatia, Romania, Luxembourg, and so on. So I visited some very nice countries.
Yeah. Tell me something. If you can like put in a level between in the top 10 of 10, which one it will be your top 10? You give me 3 countries where you can tell me like, okay, that is somewhere where I will love to back. Yes or yes. Like,
Well, number one will always be United Kingdom for me. United Kingdom is like a dream. I love that place.
expensive, by the way. You have expensive days.
yes. But London is like magic. It's a magical
Yeah.
place for me. And then I would say Amsterdam is also fantastic.
Amsterdam, yes.
I love Amsterdam. And let's say Paris.
Paris.
Yeah, Paris.
Yeah. Paris is also good. You know, like, I think, like, between the food, between the experience, you know, like, there is something interesting. I won't say I love it, but I like it so much.
Well,
You know?
I always say that Paris was not love at first sight, differently from the other cities. But what I like the most when it comes to Paris, London, and Amsterdam is the fact that you can travel to these countries 5 times, 10 times, and you have totally different trips. They have lots of
Yeah, true.
landmarks, interesting things to do, to visit. So you have totally different trips.
Yeah, true. Yeah, every single trip. Is like your first, second time in Paris. How many times have you been in Paris?
I think
One?
I've been to Paris 4 times.
4 times. Wow. Yeah, definitely it's a different taste,
I mean,
everything.
short stay trips, but 4 times.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Just I've been there twice, and in deep, as you say, they both were completely different.
Totally different.
Completely different. And then, well, tell me, that was in terms of your trips, your life experience over here. You got your accommodation in 3 months. You say that you're living with your partner. So then, do you think that was difficult for you find a place for you like to live over here with your partner?
Well, I know accommodation is a problem for many students, but I always say that God helped me somehow.
Yeah.
Because I came with an accommodation for the first month,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stayed in another place for 2 months with a short contract. And then the owner of the first place, he offered me, hey, I've got an apartment if you want. We
Wow.
can sign a contract. So that's what I'm living for 1 year and 3 months.
Yeah. That's so good. That's very lucky because that's not very, you know, like that doesn't happen too often. You know, like
It's also important to communicate, to talk to people, to ask people what
relationship.
they've got, to behave well as a tenant, to show some respect to the place where you're living. So I think all of that somehow.
Yeah, the tenants, you know, like when you behave as a good tenant, means a lot. And then, well, there you have your answers. Then, tell me, in terms of work. So, where are you working at the moment? Have you changed like different jobs? Because you say that you're working as a teacher, or you were working as a teacher. You're still working as a teacher in Brazil and also here in Ireland. So, tell me, what are you teaching? How is the process?
Well,
so, what time do you work?
I still work from home as a professor for a Brazilian university. What I've worked for 15 years. And apart from that, I work as a teacher for evening groups in another school at Atlas School. And I teach her as a covert teacher in other schools, like morning, sometimes afternoon, in different schools as well.
Okay, and tell me, when you came over here to Ireland, your first subject was like working as a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I most love doing in my life. I've worked as a teacher for more than 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I started really young when I was 13.
13?
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm 36 now.
Okay, and where were you working when you were 13?
Well, I started in a project in a public school teaching English for kids.
Yeah.
And then started with kids and then teens and then adults.
Okay.
And
And tell me, did you study English before coming to Ireland? Because your English is pretty good. I might say that it's better than mine.
I started when I was 9, actually. So I started studying English really young. Then when I was 13, I was already in the intermediate level. So I started teaching, beginner students when
Of course,
in the intermediate level. And then I also taught Spanish, Portuguese, and so on.
Then tell me something. Do you think that the English have changed your life or open like better opportunities or open a new opportunities in your life in general? Since you were in Brazil, if you compare like people who doesn't speak English with people who like you, that you are very into the language since you were very young. So do you think that give you another tools or a plus?
Jorge, I say completely. English has completely changed my life. When you start working at an early age, as I did, so I learned how to teach. I learned how to be a professional as an English teacher. So I always tell my friends and family members, let your kids start studying English as earlier as you can.
Absolutely, yeah.
So as your child starts to speak, please let him or let her start learning English.
Yeah, because takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time for you to get used to the sounds and everything.
Well, yeah, that's first the sounds, and then we have the accents. You know, like we are living in Ireland. We have, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, but we have accents from everywhere around the world. So we have the British accent, very close to us, the Indian accent, the Australian accent, the Irish accent, and the American accent. So it's actually quite difficult sometimes to catch. Well, for me, even for me, that I've been a few years here, catching the Wales accent or Scottish accent is.
I think it is.
What
in Brazil, most schools teach us the North American version of English, so we get used to the sounds, to the way they produce the sounds. So you benefit very much from being in contact with people from different parts of the world, to listening to English with different accents. Yeah.
Do the people in Brazil speak English like more than the people who is living abroad? You know, like is part of your culture to speak English?
Unfortunately not. No, unfortunately not. And
Excuse me, just
it's a pity that if you do want to learn English in Brazil, you have to enroll in a private school or in a private
what is
course.
expensive.
Yeah, most of them are. Yeah. it's a pity that in most public schools we don't quite learn English in Brazil.
Yeah. Do you think that you took a very good decision when you decided to move abroad? You think like your English, because your English was good, but you think that now you get more confidence or you grow up in terms of your language vocabulary? How you think that your English have improved in terms of, or the, making the difference between and after your experience here in Ireland?
Well, there are two main points I would say that I am really happy for having taken this decision. The first thing is having been a student of native teachers. It helped me learn some idioms, some expressions to sound more natural, more native,
more locally. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So this I wasn't. It wasn't so often to happen in Brazil.
Yeah, it's common even for people like us. I've been working so hard in that accent and also idioms and also like try to uh, don't sound so Latin. I will say that. Yeah, don't so like sounds a little bit more local to get into to the community, and I think happens for everyone.
Yes, I would say a second thing is, on the other hand, having worked as an English teacher in an English-speaking country, and having had students from all over the world, students from Mongolia, South Korea, Taiwan, China, Japan. At the beginning, for me, it was really hard to understand what they said. Today, it's really natural for me after 1 year and a half. But at the beginning, it was really difficult.
Yeah, because their accent, the pronunciation is quite difficult. Yeah. Tell me, well, you're 1.5 years here, and what is your plan for the future? Would you like to keep teaching? You want to just put focus in teaching English, or what would you like to do?
Well, I always say that there are some people who work as teachers for a while. They do it for a living to have some money. That's not for me. I am a teacher.
You
I
love
know
it.
From the
you're
heart.
born for that.
Yeah, I know from the heart, from the very bottom of my heart, that I was born to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So I just can't picture myself doing anything different.
Something else. Yeah.
From being in a classroom, sharing knowledge with students. That's what I most love doing in life.
I must show you my respect because, I'm teach, but I'm just teach for specific areas, like something related with my own area. But the fact that you have to teach all the levels in English, get in contact with a lot of students and have the tolerance and the passion to keep going every day.
And it keeps igniting.
Yeah, it's something that I need to say. That's I'll say that it's something very impressive because not everybody have it. And even if we teach, like the people like myself, we teach one, twice, it's fine, we enjoy it. But if you ask me, like, would you like to do that for the rest of your life? I will say, no. No.
Well, after 22 years, I would say I would do it for the rest of my life.
And I tell you something, my dad is a teacher.
Really?
Yeah. My mom is a teacher. So I didn't get it. But well, I must say, like, congrats for that. It's like, it's a very good, like, I will say, like, it's not a habit. It's more than that. It's just you.
It's a passion.
It's a passion. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
From the inside.
It's a passion, and coming from inside. Since you're born to be a teacher. What I think, it's brilliant because we need more people like you. Want that passion, and when you're teaching with passion, like, makes more interesting the process of learn. And then is when we say, okay, I have one teacher who helped me to learn speak English. I have one teacher like that, and will say that, yeah, his subject was that one, was teach. And I will say congratulations for that.
Thank you very much.
Well, Douglas, thank you for sharing with us. Tell me something. Are you teaching online?
Well,
Private lessons?
I've had some private students for a while, but due to the amount of work, I haven't been doing that so much recently. Yeah, but I've had some students.
Some students. Well, what about if the students wanted to contact you? Can they contact you?
Well, of course.
Social media? Do you have any social media?
Douglas.lemos.montero in Instagram.
There you have Douglas.lemos.montero. Okay, there you have, guys. If you are interested to learn a little bit more English, so, well, I think the best option is also with Douglas, which is study over here at SEDA College. And, well, he is doing his own private classes. Thank you so much, Douglas.
Thank you.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure having you here. Definitely. We love, or we wanted more people like you, more teachers like you. Thank you, and guys, see you in another episode of Desde Irlanda para el Mundo. Ciao.